6 o'clock. So I hope everybody has props.
My computers on the Teams
Who's, yeah, thanks. So you're going to need some prop. You never know what you're going to need for your body and what we do. So some kind of pillow, cushion, some kind of block. If you don't have a block and you want to be doing the yoga, you need at least that. A blanket or a bath towel you can fold up and use for stuff. So always come to class with stuff handy. So we're in this series of yoga. We're talking.
Microsoft Teams isn't working.
Somebody's on, even though everybody says off. But okay. So we've been going through the fascia lines. And if you didn't catch the earlier ones, the fascia is connective tissue that surrounds the muscles, and there's layers and compartments, and they all function differently depending on the direction of the fibers. So we went through the deep core line on the first one, which everyone should rewatch. So it's my little skeleton. It's very deep along the center, like the core of an apple. And it's what is meant to hold you upright against gravity. And then last week's, we did the superficial front line. So it goes all along the outside front of the body. And we talked about what happens when it shortens. It attaches to your pubic bone and goes around your head. And it's actually meant to lift this part of the body up. Since this is forward of the skeletal structure, it has a tendency to lean. So the superficial line is actually supposed to hold you up. But in today's society, where we slouch so much and we do so many crunches, we just keep supporting this position. So it never gets to do its job of lifting. So I'm trying to make you aware of how the body works and things that you can do to help yourself, or just be aware, learn to speak body. Today is the superficial back line. So it's the back of the body, starting at the very tip of your toes, going around. So the plantar fascia goes around the calcaneus, up the calves, the hamstrings, all along the spine of the body, and it's on both sides and goes all the way around to the front of your head. Now, where it is at the bottom of your foot, so it's your toes, the arch of your foot. Tightness and problems along the line here can show up as a tightening and a shortness in your hamstrings. So I posted a video on my Facebook page that shows you how to test, do a minute of rolling on your foot, refold, and you can see how you've lengthened the entire line of the fascia, because release tension anywhere and you release along the whole thing. So I realized when I started that I didn't give you a very good understanding of fascia. So the fibers of the fascia, if you're, say, very sedentary, they will line up. They don't line up. They're just a mishmash, and they go all different ways, and they have no coordination. My lighting is very bad. There it is. And that's so there's no stretch. You just lay around, you don't do anything. The fibers have no direction. The minute you add stress, add tension, training of any sort, good or bad, you will organize the fibers. They get polarized and they start to line up like an army, and they're ready to do work. These guys are just watching Netflix. These guys are ready to do the work. So whatever stress you add, they respond to direction. given no direction, you get the mishmash. Give them engagement and they'll start to organize and line up and get and reinforce that position. Now, say you get injured and you start limping, well, then that's the direction you gave it, and it will get better at making you stronger on the opposite side. So I'm trying to show you ways that you can help yourself to give your tissue direction and training and get it to work for you instead of against you. So the superficial back line, all along the back, some of the problems that the front of the body is more of the fast twitch fibers. So they're your sprinters and they want to just go and stop. On the back, these guys are the ultra marathoners. They can go and go and go all day long, holding you in this upright, extended position. The problem comes in when your center of gravity starts to go and your head starts to go forward. Now it's fighting, doing everything it can to hold you back. So the tissue is stretching and it's anchoring down to prevent you from falling over. But the more you go over, the more stretched it gets. So you feel tight, but it's actually overstretched. So if you don't energize and engage the front, the deep core, you never give the back of the body the relief that it needs to go back to doing what it's supposed to do. So some of the common problems with the superficial back line, limited ankle dorsiflexion. So it prevents you from bringing your foot upright. So every step you take can be limited. Your knee may be too hyperextended. Hamstring shortness. So a common pattern that happens is your hamstrings will get tighter and shorter. And I was reading, this is my guidebook, Anatomy Trains, and he's got all sorts of information for therapists. And one of the things he said was that hamstring shortness is caused by an inadequate of the deep lateral rotators of the hip. So I find that fascinating, and I'm going to explore that more to help you engage those and get them back to then lengthen the hamstrings. So there's always new things to learn. Now, the curves of the body. You have the primary ones, so this rounding of your thoracic region and this rounding of the sacral region. So they're kind of structured to be supported that way, by the way that they're created. But the cervical area and the lumbar area is held in place by the fascia, by this superficial black line. So problems here directly could be related to this line that we're going to be working. So I want you to figure out that, yes, the bottom of your foot can be affecting your neck. And then the biggest thing is the ocular motor reflex connection, which is, if you've ever heard a cat, no matter, like if they get thrown off of something, no matter what happens, they land on their feet. And it's because, remember last week we did our suboccipitals, these little muscles under our head, which are hardwired to our eyes. So directly wired to the eyes. So whatever the eye sees, these then are innervated with the erector spinae along the back, which helps you to do whatever kind of move, give you the cat-like reflexes. So what you see gets communicated through your back. If you're always in that forward head posture, these muscles are always tight and engaged. They disconnect and they can't communicate with the rest of your back. So it can create all sorts of problems. So I think that's a big thing. So we got our plantar, we got our hamstrings, and our neck that we're hoping to make some changes with. So we've got some test and retest so that you can actually see that what we did had an effect on your body. And the test is, we're going to stand up And we're just going to fold over. And you're going to notice where your hands are. Are they, when you fold, like yours might be up here, mine touch the ground, but do you see, is one hand more than the other? Is one hand shorter than the other? That's going to tell us what's going on in the superficial back line. So everybody stand up and don't overthink it. And then just fold over. Don't guide yourself. And then just notice where your hands are. Notice if they're even with how they are on the ground. Notice if you have one that's in front of the other. No bouncing. And then we're going to work one side. So whichever side seems more out of whack, which isn't aligned with your toes, is the side that we're going to be doing first. So does everybody have a side that seems to be more affected? Okay, so come back to the ground. So my right side, I've got these twists and turns. So that's what I'm going to be working on. If it was your left side, then that's what you're going to be working on first. So we got one more test, and we're going to fold. And in yin, we're not reaching, we're not bouncing, we're just allowing. So you start sitting upright, no tension in the legs. Start to tuck your chin, start to bow your head, and then let gravity take you as far as you can go. And then we're going to stay there for 1 minute. Now, you may need some support. So you may want to support your head in a position if you have your blocks. And I'd like you to take note of where that position is, because we're going to see at the end if we were able to get more length in our superficial back line. So everybody fold. We'll stay here for a minute. And then the object of these yin poses is to resist the temptation to move. So once you find your position, stay there. Don't move your hair. The only time you should move is if the body allows you to go deeper into the pose. Your hands are soft. You're just allowing gravity to keep pulling your head further and further into position. And if you don't have a block, maybe just put your hand, one fist over the other, and see how far you are so that we can retest. So if you just kind of see how much movement we have to go, so you have some way to know if you went further. Okay, and then you slowly come up. It's always done slowly, never quickly. And now we want to get the hips working right again. So we're looking to activate the pelvic floor. So we're going to press through our heels. So this is active and engaged. So you're going to press your knees down. You're rooting the femurs into the ground. You're pressing through your heels. And I'm looking to have my spine elongate out of the pelvis. And that is when the core is on, you will be as tall as you can possibly be. So we're trying to activate that core. And then just place your hands down. Don't engage, but just place so there's some tension in the arms. And then we're just going to stay here. This is staff pose. So press through your heels, and if you can, sometimes the heels will come off the ground. And if not, it's okay. But we're active. And then from here, like the ticking of a clock, we're going to start. So nothing should change in my spine. That position stays. And then I'm just going to see where I can grab. Maybe it's at right below my knees. So you can only grab. I don't want to lose the spine. So we're just going to, maybe you can grab something, maybe not, doesn't matter. but the legs are active. My spine is active. I keep reaching up and out. You may even start a little bit of a sweat, and that's okay. We're giving the tissue new direction. Now from here, keep the legs active, but then do our little yin fold and stretch out the back line while we're doing some activation to give the tissue fibers some new direction. The legs are active, you're pressing through your heels, you're trying to elongate the back of your leg. Your femur is rooting down, and then your head is just heavy. And then release your legs. Stay in your position. And then slowly allow yourself to come back up. Now, whichever leg had more dysfunction is the leg that we're going to be working with first. If we're totally balanced and even, God bless you, but just pick a side and usually do your dominant side. So that affected leg is going to be straight, and with intention, with an intelligent hip, we're going to bring one leg, we're going to bring the heel into the groin of our body. Don't use your hands, but just see what you can do, whoosh, with intention. Yes. Now, if you're very tight, you may have to give it a little support. And then this leg is going to be very active. So press through your heel. Your toes are reaching back towards you. Now this leg is going to be pressing into the other. So my foot is pressing into my thigh. Now just be careful where you are. Say you're right at your knee joint. Don't allow the ball of your foot to press into it. Have the arch at your knee joint, or see if you can be above or below. So again, we're very active. I'm engaging my core of my body, so I'm going to be as tall as I possibly can. This leg is very active. This leg is squeezing into the other. And then I'm going to start that, like the ticking of a clock, we're going to get our pelvis to move. So we're trying to shorten the distance from my ribs to my thigh, and then just see where you can reach. Your shoulders shouldn't be up towards your ears. They should be back and down. So I'm still reaching, but my shoulders are reaching down. Your spine, more erect. I want more of an erect spine. Tuck the chin slightly. Yes. And like something's coming out of your head energetically. And then slowly let that come back. And now, anytime we want to make a change, we have to give new direction. So we're going to do that little series we did. And now, the straight leg will become the bend. So we'll bend the other leg, and we're going to cross over. So this is the leg that I'm working, and it's now we're doing the piriformis stretch. Right? So you just slide your heel into your body as much as you are able. This side, I'm not able as much. But what's important about this, flex this foot, but this knee, we're going to activate at the hip to press away. So I don't want you to use this, because then we're not giving new direction. We're not activating the muscles that we need. So with intention, for about 30 seconds, press your knee away. Engage, engage. It should move. You should have movement. Flexing your foot. And then from here, we're going to go to fire lock. So I'll show you how to get there the long way. This is the leg I'm working. So I lean, and this is going to be at a 90-degree angle. And then I bring this foot up and over, and these should stack like logs. We're not here long, so if you've got something here and a lot of space, that's okay. If it's very difficult, you just slide the foot right in front, and your shins will be crossed in the middle. But just stay. It's a little bit awkward, but it's okay. You're gonna see how far we get. We're just here for a little bit. But any knee pain, then shift to the modification. Now we're going to go back to the piriformis stretch. So you'll slide. So maybe you have to take the long way, and that's okay. Or maybe you can just are supple enough that you can just get into it. But don't hurt yourself. So go the long way, and then actively get that knee to press away. You want to create space here. See how the knee moves? Are you getting it? And if you're not getting any movement, then we're going to say that your hip IQ is rather low, and you want to do this more. It should be able to be doing more than we've ever asked it to do. We're just staying for about 30 seconds in each spot. Or again, your body might want to quit sooner, or you might want to stay a little longer. I did this longer and it actually made me worse. So, and then we're going to go back to fire lock. So maybe you can easily get there. Maybe you go the long way. But already, I know I see a change in myself. I know I see a change in a lot of you. So, interesting. We're going to hold here. This isn't quite active, but if you want more, start to tuck your chin and allow your head to go down, and the weight of your upper body will get you deeper into the pose, but only if it invited you. Mine is not inviting me to go deeper. I'm gonna stay up. And then one more time, piriformis. So maybe you can easily get that foot. Maybe you go the long way, just straighten everything. And active, be as active as you can. Creating space, get that thigh away from your stomach. And then last time, fire lock. And I know I got a big change. How are you guys feeling? The feet are flexed. And if you are still with the other one in front, that's fine. You're still going to get a benefit. And then we're going to let that go. So lean back and just extend everything. Take in a pause. Your pause, you might feel you need to move. You have 30 seconds. If you want to lay down, whatever you feel like you need to do. Because that was a lot in there, but you've woken it up. Okay, so now we're going to go back where the affected leg is straight, and we're going to bring that heel back into our groin. You're engaged, you're active, so I'm pressing through my heel, my toes are coming back to me, I'm rooting down, and I really want to come up out of my pelvis. I want to create space and length, and that is the core being engaged. So the core isn't necessarily your superficial abs, the six-pack. That isn't the fascial core. It's all along your spine. And now, like the ticking of a clock, start to get that hinge at the hips and see if you can grab a little bit further. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. So maybe I was at my leg and now I can grab my toes. But wherever you are, don't force anything. I'm still very active. Now remember, the deep back line is under the toes in this. So if you are there and you can give it a little pull it back and give them even more of a stretch. And if you're not there, be wherever you are, but be active. This is not the yin, this is the active. Did you get any further? And if you didn't, it's okay, it will come. And then staying active in the leg, now we're going to just allow the upper body to fold with the forehead towards the knee. We're staying active to give the tissue direction. We want it to turn on. And then let the leg go. Stay folded, but just let everything go and be in your pose soft. Allow your head to be heavy. And then slowly use your hands to press yourself back up. And now we're going to do the dreaded toe stretch. So I need a block. We're going to do only one at a time. So again, we're still doing your affected leg. So you want to get the toes so that they're curled under. I use this block on the opposite leg under my sit bone, so it gives me something to support my weight. But if you don't need it, then don't. Or if you don't need as much, you can. You just want to take a little bit of the weight off you if you need it. But this is about stretching your toes, the overlooked, abused toes. That anytime our center of gravity in our hips is forward, which if you've ever looked at yourself, it probably is forward, then the toes have to start gripping the ground to prevent you from falling over. The toes into the calves, shortening the hamstrings. So you want to start being aware of where you are in space. I'm going to keep talking so I don't realize how much pain I'm in with my toes. We've got about 20 more seconds. But when our core is on and we're supported by the bone structure, everything is better, and the toes are just there to navigate the terrain, like if you're a trail runner. But if we're constantly just on concrete and pavement, they never get to do their job. Whew, okay, and then slowly lean forward, come out of that, and we're just going to stand again. And we're going to retest. Take a minute. Yeah, that's nasty. Hate it. And then try not to do anything different, but just fold again and notice if there is a change. Are the hands exactly the same? So whatever side you did should be more even, more loose. And then come back up. And now what I want you to do is to actually go walk around. So walk around for about 30 seconds and then come back and tell me if you notice anything. You might feel that the foot is a little flatter. It's got more give to it. Or you might not notice anything. Give me a little thumbs up if you noticed anything when you come back. I'm curious. It worked for me, so. Any thumbs up? Yay, yay, yay. So I just wanted to see you. Now we've been doing this 30 minutes, but I talked a lot, so maybe 15 minutes. You can do it quicker. You get an instant release. You get more activation. So I strongly recommend that you start putting this into your routine, maybe even before you start doing stuff. Maybe it's not just recovery. Maybe it's a great way to activate and get everything so it's working right when you do the crazy things that you guys seem to do. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing, but on the other leg. So we'll start with our feet out. And then, so now the opposite leg is going to be straight. And with intention, with a very intelligent hip that can do so much, bring that foot into you. Very nice. So maybe you had to help it a little, but don't rely on that. Don't allow it to go to sleep. So this is going to be active. So I'm trying to elongate the back of my leg. I want to root down my femur. This leg presses into the other. And you can see the action comes from the core and everything gets pulled in and tighter. And that's how you give the appearance that you're flexi-bendy. If I didn't, I can't get there. If I'm active and engaged, a whole lot more happens. So squeeze, elongate, and then grab what you can. Don't go too far because then that ruins what we're trying to do. So just stay on your shin, but be active through the spine. Your spine nothing should have changed from here to here. If I go lower, I start to lose the engagement. So right now we're just trying to turn things on. We're trying to wake it up. And then leaving that foot active, we're going to do the yin fold. So I start to tuck my chin and then just allow my head to fall towards my knee. Maybe you have a block handy that you want to support the head. If you don't have a block, you can rest your head in your forehead, your hand. Sometimes when we've got some issues, it can get very uncomfortable and nasty, and it will really talk to you. So we want to go as far as we can, and then we back off a little bit. This is gentle, but effective. And then slowly just let that go. And now we're going to do the piriformis fire log stretch. So this becomes the leg that will cross over. So, which I know I'm supposed to do left and right, but today is just about affected and non-affected. So piriformis is one of the deep lateral rotators that causes problems and shortens the hamstrings. So we want to wake things up there too. So I'm actively pressing my knee away. I'm engaged. I'm flexing my foot. Yes. You want to create space here. And if you have to, maybe things aren't woken up. Sometimes this can give you just that what it needs to get yourself back into your body. But then make it happen on your own. And you take your foot in as much as you want, or as little. And now we go to fire log. So you can take the quick way, or you have to do it the long way, which is okay. And we just try to get the edge of this over our foot. Both feet are flexed. If this is way wonky, then just allow that foot to come in front. Now you can stay there, or if you wanted more, you start to tuck the chin and you allow the weight of your body to open things up more. So we're here for about 30 seconds. This isn't active, but even if you're here and you want to tuck your chin, but you don't have to, you'll still get it with the head up. And let's go back to piriformis. However you have to get there, and stay for about 30 seconds. But you're active. That leg is pressing away. You're awakening your pelvic floor. So many people complain about their psoas, one of the deep muscles in here, and it's because it doesn't get any help. So we're trying to recruit more muscles, turn them on, so that doesn't have to do everything. And then back to fire log. My feet are flexed. And whew, wow, this is a really good pose for me. I don't know if it's helping you guys. I hope so. And then, yes, tuck your your chin, allow your head to be heavy. This is a pose that you can stay in for several minutes, but it's not the objective of what we're trying to do today. So we're only staying about 30 seconds, but you want to repeat it 2-3 times. And I think we have one more. So bring it back, piriformis. Engage the pelvic floor, which will drive the knee away from you. We don't want any pain in our knees. Pain is bad. And then back to fire log. This will be your final one. Woo. And so you can stay upright or see if you want to fold. And if you really want to go deeper, then your hands come forward and it really gets the weight of your body. But if you haven't been doing this, if this is your first time, I don't recommend going too deep too quickly. And then just be there 15 more seconds. You're not here long. And then slowly come out of that. Lean your weight to one side. Take a little bit of a moment because that can be intense. You can do whatever you want in the pauses. Like if you want to just like, oh my God, I need to open it up. You do you. Every body is different. Every compensation pattern is different. So feel free to explore. Okay, so next is the, oh no, one more time for the retest. So again, we're gonna bring that heel in. We're doing the second side. We're being very active. So I'm squeezing my knees in. I'm squeezing this leg in towards me, and my belly button is turning towards my knee. Elongate out your spine. Inhale, and then like a ticking of the clock, see where you can go, see what you can grab. So this pose, there's always deeper ways to get, but you're supposed to grab your wrist, but sometimes you can just grab a toe, or again, here, or you can clasp. And then just, you're pulling back, you're trying to stretch and open and lengthen. We're finding length where we needed it. Did you get any further? And if not, it's okay. Maybe this wasn't where you have dysfunction. And then let that go. And then we're gonna do the toe stretch. So that side that was just long will now be here. And sometimes you have to, if you have a little pinky toe, you have to get that tucked under. And then your opposite leg comes forward, and wow, this side is worse for me. So I need more help. I'm gonna get another block. So find your position, and we're here for 45 more seconds. Breathe. If it's too intense, the more your weight shifts forward, the less that, the more it'll ease up on the toes. The more your body is stacked over your hips, the more intense. We're almost there. And then slowly we'll come out of that. Do whatever you need to. And then again, let's retest. So we'll stand. Take your time. And without intention, just allowing yourself to fold forward, see where your hands end up. If you rewatch this video, you'll find, that your hips, you'll notice some differences in where your hips are. So come up and then take a little walk around. Tell me if you feel any difference in your legs, in your feet, how they're able to connect with the earth, the ground. Any difference? Yay, nay, no? And it's okay, but I'm hoping you had some difference. So I want to show you one more thing, and it's done in a chair. So if you have a chair, that's fine. Any chair, any sofa, at the edge of the bed, or if you don't have anything, or wait, you could have blocks, but if you don't have blocks, then that's okay. Just do this a little bit later, because this is a way to go even deeper now that we're open. So I'm gonna show you. And we're just gonna do the same thing we did before, but now on the edge of a chair. So if you have something or you just wanna watch, so my sit bones, I'm getting right to the edge. They're on the chair, and my legs are active. And now I'm gonna fold. I'm still having my spine tall and long, and I'm working my way down, and now gravity is gonna help me. So it can be more intense, so don't start off with this. You've properly opened your body. See how far you can get. Can you get to your toes? Can you grip something? Are you active, or did you let go? So you have to keep that activeness. And then allow yourself to fold. So it's actually a modification that will let you go deeper in opening the back line. So I say some people got their toes, which, yay. And then gently walk yourself back out. And if you have blocks, you can do the same, or books, maybe you've got some books. So you can just set up and work your way. And then gravity is your friend here. And then you can start to work your way down and work your way down. And did you get something you didn't get before? So try that. Redo this one. I highly recommend this. So I talked a lot and I'm very energized. So I don't know if you need to take a little bit of a Shavasana, or are you ready to go too? So yogi's choice. If you'd like, let's take a few minutes. You can have something under your head for support. You can have something under your knees. Is nice. But then just allow everything to calm down. We'll take 5 minutes here. Wherever you are, just be there. I'm not going to talk anymore. you're ready, slowly start to make your way back. If you like to stay longer, stay longer. Try to take a nice posture. Again, very upright, coming out at the pelvic floor. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bow your forehead to your fingertips, sealing in your practice. Namaste. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to talk to you about what I'm so passionate about. And I hope it helped. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Namaste.
Lisa.
Thank you.